Stuff.
I've tried to make gummies before, and I've actually never been successful. And I think I know why, and it has all to do with this first step. The first step is blooming the gelatin. So here I have, right out of the box, gelatin, powdered gelatin. This is some water, and I'm gonna mix this together. Now, when I tried to do this before, I made gelatin, I colored it, I flavored it, I put citric acid in it, I got gummy molds, I did the whole thing, and it just never became a gummy bear. You know, it never became a gummy. Gummies are, you get stretchy, right? They're stretchy. So this is our gelatin. That's the gelatin that's gonna make our gummies. But the thing that's gonna give it the chew, the thing that's gonna give it the is the sugar. When you're cooking sugar for candy, what you're doing is you're giving the sugar a very specific moisture amount, right? So I added water to the pan. I'm just gonna make sure all the sugar gets wet, right? So all the sugar will dissolve. You don't wanna stir this. You don't wanna get too crazy. Now I'm gonna turn this down because you don't wanna go too fast either. And then what we're gonna do is we're making a super saturated sugar solution, which means it'll only sort of hold itself while it is warm. As it starts to cool, it's definitely gonna start crystallizing. So we've added water to the sugar. We're gonna boil the water out to where it is a very specific percentage of the solution. And the less water that's in there, the firmer the sugar is. We are gonna cook this to the soft ball stage, which means when the sugar solution is cool, it's actually gonna be like a little ball of putty. There's also like the hard crack stage, which you can imagine. You've cooked so much of the water out of the sugar that it breaks when it cools. It turns into like a hard stick. And that's what you make like lollipops for, things like that. So there's all these sort of different stages to sugar that gives different candies different textures. So we're gonna cook this to 239. And you'll see the bubbles that are popping will start getting smaller. 242, okay, we're there. Okay, so now I'm gonna add the glucose. Now, glucose is thick. It's really thick. And this is an invert sugar. This is gonna keep the gummies from crystallizing. And now I'm gonna take my hot sugar and my pretty warm glucose here that's gonna melt, and we're gonna mix that in with the gelatin. Just gonna pour it on top, and this hot sugar is gonna melt the gelatin. And this takes a second, so just be patient. That looks pretty smooth. Let's put 10 grams of citric acid, a little salt. Stir that in there. Okay, and then this is pineapple extract. This is for candy. It is very concentrated, like super concentrated. So I'm just gonna add a couple of drops. I might have put too much pineapple in it, but it's still really good. I got 2 squeeze bottles here. Now I'm gonna put gummy solution in this one. Here's what I'm gonna do. I got some hot water. I'm gonna pour the hot water into my Cambro. So this will keep the gummy from like becoming a huge bottle-shaped gummy. Liquid titanium dioxide is a white food coloring. So I'm gonna let this sit in the hot water and let it heat up a little bit. I have to think that when you're making gummies, you're just gonna be sticky, and you just have to get comfortable with the fact that you're gonna be a little sticky. All right, now let's do the blue. That's pretty close. I think it's spot on. I have some Swedish fish, and I have some other little sea creatures. All right, check it out. I got a Cambro here full of hot water. I have blue gummy goo. I have white gummy goo. And here's my molds. And here's my inspiration. Probably want to let that cool a bit. This stuff is warm. This is warm on my fingers. If you're not a masochist, use a towel. This is much better. This is much better. Okay. All right. So now, yeah, that was really hot. All right. So now we go nice and gentle. You want to make sure that you're getting the tail too. I'm gonna actually let those sit. Let's do the turtles and the fish and stuff. These are a little more detailed. You know, I can sort of understand why those industrial sharks are not super detailed. The blue ones need to actually be pretty firm before we put the white on, because the white is sinking into the blue and it's not gonna give us that line. So we're gonna put these in the fridge and let them firm up, and then we'll do the white. These have cooled somewhat. They're still really sticky, but all right, and now let's do the white. Now that these have had a chance to kind of firm up a little bit. This is exciting. Now, let's do our other sea creatures. Okay. Now we're gonna put these in the fridge and let them firm up like 2 hours, like probably overnight, but definitely at least 2 hours. You want these to really solidify. These gummies have been sitting in the fridge all night, and now we're gonna pull them out and see if we were able to make them actually gummy and stretchy. Look at that amazing fish. Oh man. Well, our blue's a little brighter, right? A little cleaner, I think. Man, these just pop right out too. Look at that. A white one! I didn't realize I made a white one. That's funny. Yeah, I cannot wait for my daughter to see these fish. Let's see if these ones came out. I think the molds where there's like little teeny tiny areas that you have to get into, I think might be a little more difficult to get these clean. All right, let's try one. I want to try one. Has that like gummy snap. It chews like a gummy. This is 100% a gummy. Like, it's not like a gummy. These are gummies. Now, the only thing that I'm worried about is that they're at skosh sticky. So I want to try something. This is dextrose. Sometimes when you, yeah, there you go. So like when you're making candy like this, put a little dextrose on the outside. Now, it's obviously not as shiny, but it's not sticky. We made gummies! Okay, well listen, for this recipe and many more, just click the link below, and I hope you make some gummies. They are not as hard as I thought. I like the white one. I really like the white one. It's really cute.